symmetry, sir. Symmetry.
Okay. Really symmetry. Again. No, Sam, didn't I told you that the calyx are two type, gamosepalous, polysepalous?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes. Then again, petals.
Yes,
We
sir.
did. Yes, we were supposed to start with the androsium.
Yeah, androecium.
Yes.
You gave a androecium also, sir. Androecium.
Yes, we were supposed to start with androsium. Fine. So let's start from here. So androsium. There are something like monadelphous, diadelphous. These are very crucial things. So fine. Put a heading androsium and let me try to make you understand. Yes, even we did. What is the this one? Epipetalous, epiphyllus. We did it. Staminode. Yes, we did it. Fine. So in androsium, recall that what we did. Let me make you recall. We androsium. So in androsium, what is the androsium? Androsium are the group of a stamen, right? So they are the group of a stamen. The symbol is A. And yesterday I told you, suppose that if androsium are associated or they are fused with sepals, so we call that situation what? Epiphyllus. Yes. And how we represent it? Epiphyllus means they are fused with the calyx. So this bar represent that the androsium are fused with the calyx. Clear? Then I told you a term, epipetalous. Epipetalous. Petalous means androsium are fused with petals.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So means they are fused with corolla. So in formula we will write this bar represent that epipetalous situation. Again, I told you there are the third type of the thing that we call tepal. Tepal are those where you are unable to understood that either they are this one, either they are calyx or corolla. Let me make you understand, like what are these things or what are these characteristics. So I'm going to show you a diagram. Morphology. Plant morphology. Yes. There. Look. Temples. If I have, then I will tell you. Temple. Okay, I'm unable to find it out. So I'll tell you manually. I'm unable to find out that PPT actually right now. Look, so I told you yesterday, tepals are those characteristics where the sepals and petals you are unable to differentiate between sepal and petals. And the group of the tepal is called, what we call that? Perianth. Perianth. So perianth is a group of tepal. So if they are, the situation is epitepalous. Epitepalous. So in epitepalous, we'll write it like this way. Is it clear, all of you, or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Tepals are clear? Fine. It will become more clear when you will discuss the formula in family, right? So again, one more important thing which I want to tell you. The question was in need that what is the diadelphous condition? Look. So again, as we discussed yesterday, so first I want to tell you that this is the androsium, or rather than I would like to call it, this is the stamen. The stamen have two parts. This upper part is called anther. This is called anther, and this lower part is called filament. Right? This is filament, anther and filament. Inside the anther, there are some polymetal. Okay. So before going into this one, additionally, I want to tell you, I want to share information with you, which is actually missing in your NCERT, right? But I have seen a number of the time these questions, right? There was a question. Let me give you example of that question. In NEET medical examination, there was a question that if the filament, like this situation, if the filament is attached at the base of anther, what we will call this situation? And this type of the thing is missing in your NCERT. But these questions have been asked many times, number of times. So additionally, this information you have to either take the screenshot or you note it down. So I want to share with you. So on the basis of attachment of this filament to anther, there are certain kind of, there is a classification of anther. So suppose that, look, this is a diagram and the question have been asked from this diagram. If the anther, this filament, it attaches at the base of anther. Look, if filament is attached at the base of anther, this is called basifix. And here, where are anther? Actually here, this is one anther and this is another anther, right? So there are two anther. Then where is this one? Then where is this filament? This filament runs from here and in between to this one, it goes up to here. So it run parallelly complete, it run throughout the this part, anther part, right? So this situation is called adenate. Adenate. So this is called adenate. Again, dorsifix. If the filament is attached at the dorsal surface here, if the filament is attached at the dorsal surface of the anther, this is called dorsifix. And this is called versatile. If the filament is attached here and these ends are free, then this is called versatile. So on the basis of attachment of, let me write it down here, on the basis of attachment of filament, anther are of four types. Is it clear to you or not? Just this is the information. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Basifix has been asked, adenate has been asked, versatile have been asked many times, right? So take the screenshot and keep it in mind. It's very important for your medical exams. So this is not in your NCERT, but they ask the question. That's why I talk that the 20% of the question they will be out of the NCERT, while like 99% teacher says that all the questions they come from NCERT. But with due respect, I'm not agree with them. Even like everywhere, the teacher 99% teacher asks that you get all these 90 questions from your NCERT. But with the due respect, I'm not at all agree with them. As per my calculation, as per my analysis, whenever I analyze these question paper, I find that 20% question are out of NCERT, and every chapter, everywhere I am proving you, and everywhere I am telling you that this is the question which is out of NCERT. Okay, fine. So take the screenshot, then move ahead. Again, come to your NCERT part. Please ask me something. Yes. So, okay. So again, on the basis of arrangement, right? So there are a few situations. So we studied that when calyx are united, we call them gamosepalous, and when they are free, we call them polysepalous. Again, when the petals are free, we call them polypetalous condition, and when petals are united, we call the gamopetalous situation. Again, this kind of the situation is found in androsium as well, right? So this is androsium. So again, there are two kinds of the situation: polyandrous and gamoandrous, right? So there are two kinds of the situation. polyandrous. In polyandrous situation, just a minute. Polyandrous. Actually, there are a number of the situations over there, but I'm just telling you what is important for till your NEET examination. Right? So, poly. Okay. Cement and calcium. Yes, polyandrous. Right. Fine. So in polyandrous situation, look, suppose that this is the thalamus and this is the thalamus part, right? And you find that they have certain androsia. So suppose that this is a flower which have 6 androsia. Or androsium are free, means filament is free, their anther is free, right? So this situation is called polyandrous situation. In polyandrous situation, stamen are free, right? Here I would like to write androsium 6. That's it. So we'll call androsium 6 and polyandrous, right? And again, there is situation where we call it gamoandrous situation. Gamoandrous situation. So in gamoandrous situation, it may be of various type. So monoadelphous, diadelphous, and polyadelphous. So that's what I want to tell you. Monoadelphous. So in gamoandrous situation, what we write. So first thing. So it may be, suppose that there are number of the stamens. So let's suppose that there are 6 stamens. It's a hypothetical condition. What I am taking over here. Suppose that there are again there is a flower, and where the flower have 6 stamens, and all stamens are fused. So suppose what happens, the filament of these stamens, the filament of all these stamens, it get fused, right? So filament get fused, and at the end, these androsium, right? These androsium are like this, right? Filament are fused, and filament, this filament part, this is fused filament, right? So fused filament. So filament are fused in one tube-like structure. Fused filament, right? So here I would like to say androsium are 6, and that is gamoandrous situation. Again, I would like to describe that this is called monoadelphous condition. So I would like, this is called monoadelphous. Monoadelphous. ADELPHOUS. Let me write it more clearly. Monoadelphous condition. So this is called monoadelphous condition. Is it clear? Monoadelphous condition.
Yes, sir.
Right. So monoadelphous condition. I have seen a question that what is the example of monoadelphous condition? Actually, the China rose, which is called Hibiscus rosa sinensis, is an example of monoadelphous condition. Let me try to show you the diagram of that monoadelphous condition. Where is China rose? China rose is it there? I will make clear over. Give me just a second. Actually, it is full of PPT, so it's really very hard to search it. China rose monodelphous condition. Yes, you will be able to see it, and I want to show you a diagram. Yes, it's there. Look. This is monodelphous condition. Look, here this is example of China rose, Hibiscus rosa sinensis, and this part is called filament, right? And these stamens are fused and they make a tube. Is it clear to you? This is monodelphous condition. If they will be in two group, diadelphous. If there are more than two group, then that will be polydelphous. And rest of the things I will draw for you, right? So this was a monodelphous condition. Again, so the gamoenterous situation may be monodelphous, diadelphous, and polydelphous. So the second situation is
The previous slide.
Yes. So second situation is,
Can you show the previous slide?
yeah, I'll show you previous slide. Alvia, you got disconnected yesterday?
Done, sir.
Yes, Alvia. Yesterday you missed some part of the class.
Yes, sir.
So did you taken that video? Because that was also very important.
No, sir, I haven't found the video.
Please take the video back of that class, because it's very important. You know, each and every term is important, and this complete chapter is based on terminology, and you will definitely get the question.
Okay.
Is the sham taken?
Yes, sir, done.
Yeah. So look, the second situation is called diadelphous condition. So diadelphous condition. Adelphous. So suppose that this is a thalamus, and on the thalamus the stamens are, for example, stamens are present in two groups. So there is one this group and the second group is this one, right? So this is called diadelphous condition, and here these are stamen. I'm taking again, every time I'm taking this number 6 just for sake of example. So here how you will write it in diadelphous, how you will represent it in formula. That is actually beauty of this this thing. So what I would like to write, I would like androsium 6, 3 plus 3 and gamma. So if this bracket means they are united, and this 3 plus 3, so I will understand from this formula only that androsium are, the situation is gamoandrous, and that is diadelphous. They are in the group of 2 and 3 plus 3 group, right? Clear? Diadelphous and condition?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the third situation is polydelphous condition, right? So in polydelphous, more than 2 bundles, if more than 2 bundles, right? There are 2 bundles of anther, right? Or sorry, not anther, stamen. 2 bundle of stamen. Again, there is polyadelphous condition. Polyadelphous condition. So in polyadelphous condition, suppose that there is a thalamus. On this thalamus, there are 8 anther, or can we say that there are 16 anther, right? So there are 16 anther, and they are found in the group of 4. right? So again, the group of 4, again, the group of 4, group of 4, right? So here I can write that androsium are 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, right? So I will understood from this formula that androsium are gamoenterous situation and they are polyadelphous condition. They are present in the group of. Is it clear? More than 2 bundles of stamen are if more than 2 bundles of stamens are present. This situation is called polyandrous. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Monodelphous, diadelphous, and polyadelphous? Yes. Please note it down. Then we'll go ahead in gynosium.
Done, sir.
Okay, great. Mr. Sham, done?
Done, sir, done.
Alvi, are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So next is that is gynosium. Gynosium. Again, gynosium is that is a group of pistil. Group of pistil is called gynosium. Right? So we know that there is a pistil have 3 parts: egg and ovary, stigma, and that all structure we know. So still I want to share with you. So this is our pistil, single pistil, and again, so there may be a single ovule or more than one ovule, right? So this is the stigma, this is a style, and this is ovary, and this is ovule, right? So again, there are 2 situations: apocarpus and syncarpus situation. So in gynosium, even they may be free and they may be fused, the same kind of the situation. So gynosium is represented in this way. And we have already understood that the perigynous, epigynous, and hypogynous. Hypogynous situation means ovary superior. Epigynous situation means ovary inferior, right? Perigynous means normal ovary, right? So ovary superior. So these are the things which we have already understood. Now again, if there are more than one ovary, right? So how I would like to write it. So gynosium may be of 2 types. What is apocarpus situation? Apocarpus situation means gynosium are free, right? So gynosium free. For sake of example, suppose that there is a flower and flower contain 4 gynosium, right? So suppose that there is a flower. Suppose that there is a flower, and this flower have 4 gynosium, right? So 4 gynosium are present over there in flower. So this is 1, this is 2nd, this is 3rd one, this is 4th. So there are 4 gynosium. Yes. Three and 4. But all are free from each other. They are not fused with each other. So how I would like to write it? I would like to write gynosium 4, and it may be ovary superior, ovary inferior. So this it seems from the diagram that hypogynous. So I would like gynosium 4, and they are apocarpus situation. And what is the syncarpus situation? So if the gynosium are fused or ovary are fused, we will call it syncarpus situation. Syncarpus situation. you must have seen the that pineapple. So every this rectangular part of the pineapple, this is actually a ovary. So that is the fusion of number of the ovary. So that fruit is made up of syncorpus ovary, right? So suppose that there are four again. Suppose that there are four ovary. There again there is a flower. There is a flower, and the flower again. This flower contain four. So 1, 2, 3, and this 4. Right. So this is syncarpus situation. So here the base of the ovary is fused, right? We will call it syncorpus situation. How I would like to write it again, Vanusham. It's appears that this is hypogynous situation. So ovary superior, and there are 4, and this is syncarpus. Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right. Sensor converse situation when carpels are fused. Please note it down.
Done, sir.
Done. Great. So understood apocarpus and carpus situation.
Yes, sir.
Again, within the ovary, I want to tell you one more thing that is called placentation. What is placentation? So arrangement of ovule in ovary is called placentation actually. So let me tell you the placentation. So first I want to tell you the placenta. Can you tell me what is the placenta? Placenta. Istisham, what is placenta? Tamara, placenta? No. Look. Focus on here because we'll again discuss it in 12th class. Placenta. So in first chapter, 12th class in first chapter, you'll discuss placenta in detail. In both, in third chapter, human placenta in first chapter. So look, this is a pistil, right? So this is a pistil, and the upper part of the pistil is like this. So this upper part is called the stigma. This middle part is called style. And again, this lower part is called ovary, right? As I have told you already, inside the ovary, there's, please try to understand. I want your 100% focus work. Inside the ovary, there is a structure, and we call this structure ovule. Ovule may be one to many, right? So suppose that there you have a pea plant, pea bean, right? So you have a pea, right? So suppose the pea pod, right? Inside the pea pod, so what is the pea pod actually? Tell me, what is pea pod? Which part is actually that? Mazia, what is pea pod? Like, is it ovary, ovule, fruit?
Ovule.
Pea pod. Look, let me tell you. So suppose that I have a pea. Simple pea, what we eat as a vegetable. So this completely actually fruit are made up of ovary. Ovary after fertilization, ovary get convert into fruit. So this is the fruit, and inside there are number of seed of pea, right? There are peas. So these peas are ovule. So there is a ovary where 4, 5, 6, 7 ovule may be. Every ovule get converted into seed, right? And
Yes.
again, one more example. So whenever you eat mango, yes. So there is single seed. So look here, there is one ovary which contain 4 seed, right? So
Yes.
this is called multi-ovular. Multi-ovular. Why? Because there is a one ovary which contain 4 ovule, means 4 seed. Here, this is uniovular. So ovary may contain one ovule or more than one ovule or more than one ovule. Is it clear? Uniovular, multi-ovular situation. Clear or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Great. So look, now this is actually ovule, but ovule is taking nutrition from ovary. This is ovule. In future, ovary will convert into fruit, and in future, this ovule will convert into seed, right? During the time of when this is immature, this ovule remains attached with ovary wall with a structure. This structure is called placenta. This is called placenta. So placenta provide nutrition to ovule. It remains attached with the ovary wall. It provide nutrition to maturing ovule. Is it clear? Placenta clear? What is
Yes.
placenta?
Yes, sir.
And the arrangement of placenta is called placentation. Clear? Please note it down this diagram, then I'll tell you. Arrangement of ovule within ovary is called placentation. Noted?
1 second.
Done, sir.
Done. And clear too, right? Crystal clear.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So what is the placentation arrangement of? Now I am going to tell you types of placentation. So put the heading type of placentation, right? So this is the type of placentation. So the first placentation is marginal. I have discussed already. So here the placenta is attached at the margin of ovary. So this is called marginal placenta, right? So first is marginal. Again, there is axial placentation. Have you seen? Have you ever chopped lady finger? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So when you chop lady finger, you must have seen that there are some partition in the wall and there are seed over here, right?
Yes, sir.
That is the axial placentation. So what happened in axial placentation? Actually, here this is there is one chamber in ovary, so this is called unilocular. Here there is more than one chamber in ovary, right? So this is called multilocular. What is called multilocular? What is locule? Locule means these chamber are called locule. So here locule. So here there is 3 chamber. So this is multilocular. Here how many chamber is there? Single chamber. So this is unilocular. Clear? So this is unilocular multi-ovular. Here multilocular multi-ovular situation. Are you getting my point? Right? So in lady finger you find the axial placentation. Free central placentation. Have you ever chopped the capsicum? If you chop the capsicum, you like put this capsicum and chop like this one, right? If you chop this capsicum, you will find that there is a central hood-like structure where the seed are connected, right? And the rest of the part are the free, right? So this situation is called free central. These are ovules, and there is a no partition wall, right? So difference between the axial placentation and free central placentation is that here there are some there is a septa. There is a septa or wall, what chamber. So there is a septa between the locule. So this is called, it has been divided in many chamber. So this is multilocular situation, right? So this kind of placentation is called axial placentation. This kind of the placentation is called free central placentation. And the parietal placentation, look, whenever you cut a papaya, you find that ovules means seeds are remains connected with the peripheral part of the wall. Yeah. Have you ever noticed?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. So that is actually parietal placentation. When these ovules remains attached with ovary wall only, this is called parietal placentation. Last but not the least, this is the basal placentation. There is an ovary. When ovule remains attached at the base of ovary, this is called basal placentation. So basal placentation is actually found in maize. So placentation clear or not?
Example of
Any
basal
doubt?
placentation is, sir, example of basal placentation.
Which one?
Example of basal placentation.
Basal, that is Gia maize. Maize. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So please note it down. In marginal placentation, first marginal. In marginal placentation, ovary is unilocular and ovary is unilocular and the placenta remains attached, a margin, and placenta remains attached, a margin of ovary wall.
Attached to a margin of ovary wall.
Margin of ovary wall. Example P. Example P. Next. Axial placentation. It occurs in syncarpous ovary pistil. It occurs in syncarpous pistil.
Spelling?
Syncarpous. We discussed just few seconds before. Syncarpous. Syncarpous means more than 2 ovary fuses, right? Syncarpous, ovary fuses. So this is fusion of actually ovary. It occurs in syncarpous pistil. Placenta occur in central region. Placenta occur in central region. Full stop. Ovary is divided. Ovary is divided into many chambers. Ovary is divided into many chambers. Example. Example. Petunia. Lemon. Petunia. Even lemon you must have seen. Lemon. Petunia, lemon. Next. Free central. Here again the syncarpous situation is found. Full stop. Ovule are born in central column. Ovule are born in central column, but ovary is not divided into chamber, but ovary is not divided into chamber by septa. Chambers. So this means locule. Chamber you can write locule. Ovary is not divided into chambers with septa. Again, parietal. This one. Parietal placentation. In parietal, two or more than two or more than two pistil fuses. Here, the ovule remains attached. Fuses, and here ovule remains attached to wall of ovary at peripheral situation. Wall of ovary at peripheral situation. Example, cucurbita. Example, cucurbita.
So spelling.
Cucurbita. Cucurbita. Cucurbita pepo means like what do we call that? Cucurbit. We call it cucurbit. Muskmelon, watermelon, pumpkin. Yes. Pumpkin is cucurbita pepo. We call that cucurbita, pumpkin. So have you seen pumpkin? The seed remains attached at the wall, right? Yes. So actually, you know, pumpkin, muskmelon, watermelon, bottle gourd, and this one cucumber, they all belong to a family. We call that Cucurbitaceae, right? Clear? So that's why they all have some similar characteristic. They matches with some characteristics. Yes, the seed look like the similar. Either it's muskmelon or watermelon or cucurbita, right? So they all belong to a family Cucurbitaceae. So this pumpkin is called Cucurbita pepo. So name of the pumpkin is Cucurbita pepo, right? Okay. So one last, that is the basal situation. Basal situation. Here the ovary is unilocular. Here the ovary is unilocular, and here the ovary is unilocular, and the placenta remains attached. Placenta remains attached at the base of ovule. Placenta remains attached at the base of ovule. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this was placentation, right? Now again, fruit. I have discussed with you some part that pericarp, epicarp, and mesocarp. Again, I am going to discuss with you fruit. Parts of fruit. Yes. So put the heading fruit. Look. In fruit, the upper part is called pericarp, and inner part, that is seed. So pericarp have 3 layers. The seed cover is called endocarp, and the part we eat is mesocarp, and the outer cover is exocarp. So the fruit, external part of the fruit is made up of 3 things: exocarp, mesocarp, and endocarp. Let me tell you the example. The part of mango which we peel out, that is actually exocarp. The part which we eat, that is actually mesocarp. Inside the mesocarp, you must have seen there is a hard, hairy structure. It have hair-like structure and hard covering. That is actually endocarp, right? Inside the endocarp, there is a seed, right? And seed is covered with a very thin covering that is called seed coat. And inside seed, there is some embryo, and again inside seed there is an embryo, and there is one tissue called endosperm, right? So this is the actually structure of seed, fruit. Yes, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is technically, what is fruit? So how we define fruit? Come on. Yes, guys, tell me. Samaira, what is fruit?
Part of ovary which develops.
Yes. It's Sham?
Ovary, sir. Ovary.
Ovary, right? Yes. So note it down. Fruit is technically a ripened ovary. Fruit is technically a ripened ovary. Okay. So there are some type of fruit, right? So first tell me, what is true fruit? What is true fruit?
Which is edible.
Hmm?
That is which is edible.
Which is edible, that is true fruit. Actually, Istisam, banana is not true fruit. Banana is not true fruit. And even apple is not true fruit. So you can't say any fruit seller that you are not selling true fruit, hence I will not give you true money. Yes. So,
Completely developed from.
but what are the true fruit? Actually, the fruit which are made by the fertilization are called true fruit, and the fruit which are not made by the fertilization, they are called false fruit. Clear?
Yes.
So false fruit will never ever contain germinating seed or real seed. For sake of example, let me give you. Suppose that you get a question that is which of the following is false fruit. Remember, the first technique is that if you don't know which of the following is true fruit or false fruit, because it's really difficult to remember. So let me give you a trick. Imagine if this is false fruit, then it will not have seed. First important. So if seed is, yes, if this is false fruit, it will not have seed. Banana, no seed. Grape, yes. And even if seed is present, it will not germinate. Apple have seed, but they do not germinate. Do they germinate? Never. Right?
Sir, if you put
And
apple seeds, they don't grow.
apple have seed. Apple grows from by the vegetative propagation. We grow the apple by vegetative propagation only. Yes. So that's how in Himachal and all that the apples are grown over there, right? So for mango, they have seed and seed germinate. That is true fruit, right? Please note it down. The fruit which are formed by the fertilization, the fruit which are formed by fertilization and develop from the fruit which are formed by fertilization and develop from the ovary are true fruit. Full stop. The fruit which develop from the other floral part, not from ovary, called false fruit or accessory fruit. False fruit or accessory fruit. False fruit or accessory fruit, right? Or pseudo fruit. Pseudo means false. Pseudo fruit. Or there is one more name, parthenocarpic fruit. So the fruits which do not develop from the ovary, they are false fruit. Example, let me give you. Apple.
Sir, it's parthenocarpic.
Parthenocarpic, yes. Parthenocarpic, parthenocarpic fruit. So apple develop from where? Thalamus. It do not develop from ovary. Mulberry. This is not actually true fruit. Mulberry. M-U-L-B-E-R-R-I. Mulberry. Again, strawberry. Banana. So apple is not true fruit, mulberry is not true fruit, strawberry is not true fruit, and banana is not true fruit. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So please remember the example of false fruit, because they will ask you which of the following is.
Banana also grows from vegetative propagation.
Yes, banana is actually banana have a root-like structure that is called rhizome. So we propagate banana with the help of rhizome, right? Even a grape is propagated vegetatively. So we grow the grape vegetatively, right? Same thing with the strawberry, same thing with the mulberry, and same thing with the apple. They all of them do not have seed, right? Okay. So this was something about the food. And now let me tell you the seeds. So as we have discussed, so fruit clear, all of you? Mazia? Samira,
Yes, sir.
Alvia, clear? Okay. So now put the heading seed. So let me tell you the structure of seed: monocot and dicot seed. So in a school, generally they ask us the dicot seed, monocot seed, diagram of monocot seed. So first dicot seed. Where is dicot seed? Yes, this is dicot seed. This is actually bean seed. So this is dicot seed. It have two cotyledons, right? It have two cotyledon. So in cotyledon, inside the cotyledon, the food is stored, right? So they have two cotyledon. Again, the outer covering is called seed coat, yes, and inside seed there is an embryo, right? So this embryo, this complete part is this complete part. Look, they have written down this is embryo. Actually, this complete part is embryo, right? So there is a structure. This is called epicotyle. Formation of leaves, new leaves takes place. Hypocotyle, it develop into stem. So epicotyle, shoot part. Hypocotyle, stem part develop from here. Radicle, root part develop from here. Right, seed coat means seed covering. Cotyledon, it have stored food. Stored, right? So this is the actually structure of dicot seed. It have two cotyledon, hence we call it dicot. And you know, as I have already told you that all the pulses are dicot seed. Pulses. You can take the name of any pulses, gram, pea, any pulses. Pulses. So they all are dicot, right? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So take the screenshot of this one. Now the monocot seed, right? Hmm. Taken?
Taken, sir.
Okay. Now let me show you diagram of monocot seed. Remember the diagram of monocot seed. If you have your school examination and yet this chapter has not came, definitely you have to draw, they ask generally draw the well-labeled diagram of monocot seed. Dicot seed, nobody asks, but every teacher asks for the drawing monocot seed. So this is actually a monocot seed, means this is actually the diagram of maize, Gia maize, right? So look, the outer covering is called seed coat. Inside seed coat, there is a layer which is made up of protein, and after hydration, means after getting water, this layer have multiple enzyme, and this is made up of protein. This is called allurone layer. So allurone layer is made up of protein. It have enzyme. During germination, these enzyme become activated, and they help in providing food to the developing embryo. So this is actually endosperm. Endosperm is the tissue that store food. Tissue store food, right? Again, there is a scutellum. This scutellum is actually cotyledon tissue, right? Tissue of cotyledon, right? So it also store food. So food is stored over here two places, endosperm and scutellum. There is a coleoptile. This coleoptile is actually covering of shoot. And from plumule, shoot develop, means apical part develop. From radicle, root develop. And again, this coleorhiza, this is root cover. Clear? Clear to all of you? This diagram clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, look, the next thing is that our family. So the first family is that is Solanaceae. We have discussed all the symbols, and now if you remember all those symbols, that's what is a Gamopetalous, Polypetalous, Gamophilus, Polyphilus, and all those terms. If those are clear to you, then family is very clear for you, right? So first we'll discuss, put the heading of family Solanaceae. So first family is Solanaceae. So put the heading first family. So Solanaceae family is called actually family of, what we call that? Family of, no, potato family. This is called potato family. Again, more than potato family, this is called family of vegetable. Most of the vegetable you eat, they belongs to this family of vegetable, right? So this is family of vegetable. This is called potato family. So potato is the member of this family. So first, okay, so first one is Fabaceae. Okay, no issue, Fabaceae will try later. Solanaceae. So let me show you the diagram of Solanaceae family. If any one of you feeling problem or confusion or any doubt, don't be panic or don't be shy. Feel free to ask me that you are having some difficulty, and this is actually my liability to make you understand, right? So never hesitate asking any question. Look, this is actually floral diagram of Solanaceae. Again, what is this and how we interpret it, I will explain for you. So in Solanaceae family, there is a floral formula. Floral formula. So what is floral formula? Let me write it down. So the floral formula is that, first thing is that this is actinomorphic. Actinomorphic means flower is radial. Clear? Actinomorphic. Second, this is bisexual. Bisexual means it have both the sexes. Stamen and ovary and pistil both are present. So this is bisexual. Calyx, 5 gamo. Look, these are the 5 calyx. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of them are united and the estivation is volvate, right? So calyx 5 and gamo. Again, corolla, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 corolla. And all are united in volvate estivation. All are united. So calyx 5, gamo, corolla 5, gamo. Again, androecium. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is 5 androecium. And you will see there is a bar like situation. There is, so what I would like to call it. Look, this is that these stamens are united with petals. They are united, they are attached with petals. So what I will call this situation? Come on, Samara, what I will call this situation? Mr. Sham, Mazia, tell me.
Epipetalous.
Very good, excellent. Epipetalous situation. Look, these stamens are attached with petal. So wow, I will read actinomorphic, bisexual, calyx 5, gamo, corolla 5, gamo, androecium 5, epipetalous. And this is polyandrous situation. Why not gamo? Because these stamen are not fused with each other. So this is polyandrous situation. Again, one more thing which I have to remember, we have to remember that this is
It's polyandrous. We write A 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus, right? Like that we write.
A
1 plus 1 plus 1 we write.
no
like-
no 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 no. This 5 means the bracket is not there, means this is polyandrous situation.
Okay.
If there would be gamo, right, then we have to write. If there is sort of 2 2 2 2, then we have to write 2 2 2 2, right?
Yes.
So okay, gynoecium is 2, so there are 1 and 2 ovary. This one pink situation and another. Gynoecium is 2, and that is gynoecium is fused, right? And this is ovary superior. This we have to remember, that this is ovary superior. Can anybody of you tell me what is the placentation from this diagram? Any one of you? Placentation. Come on, yaar.
Sir, it's the first one, like marginal presentation.
Marginal. No, ovules are not as in margin. There is a stalk at center, and there is a septa as well. Now tell me. There is a stalk and there is septa. There are two lobes.
Sir, free central.
Very not free central. Axial placentation. In free central, this septum will not be over there. Axial placentation. Compare it. Bilocular ovary, axial placentation, and placenta is oblique. Is it clear or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Take this screenshot after the class, again study it and draw the diagram at your notebook, right? Please.
Yes.
Start writing down the characteristic of family Solanaceae. And you have to remember or cram only those things which I am telling you. So you'll remember. Formula is easy or not? Difficult? Yes. Is it difficult?
It's medium, sir.
It's a medium. Oh, then it will work. Okay, fine. So first point. Plant is herbaceous, means it is a small herb. Plant is herbaceous and sometime woody. Next, flower is bisexual. Flower is bisexual and actinomorphic. That is, flower is bisexual and actinomorphic. That is, it have radial symmetry. That is, it have radial symmetry. Again, calyx, 5 sepal. They are united, means volvate situation. This one, gamo situation. 5 sepals. They are united and volvate estivation. Yes, face to face. They are jointed but face to face. Volvate situation. The volvate estivation. Volvate and estivation. Next, it have 5 stamen, and they are fused with petal. Epipetalous, fused with petal. 5 stamen fused with petal. Again, 2 carpel. That is bicarpellary. two carpels, that is bicarpellary, ovary superior, bilocular, two locule, 1 and 2, bilocular and bilocular and axial placentation, full stop. Fruit, this you need to remember. Fruit is berry, or capsule. Fruit is berry or capsule. Now, example means economic example. So they are used as food. Example is tomato. So tomato belongs to this family. Brinjal, potato. Again, spices means chili. Chili belongs to this family. And there is one more medicine, and the name of the medicine is belladonna. Right? It belongs to this family. Tell me, any question or any doubt?
No, sir.
Solanaceae family. Formula is actinomorphic, bisexual, calyx 5 gamo, corolla 5 gamo, androecium 5, epiphyllous, gynoecium 2 gamo, ovary superior. Come on. Tell me if you have any problem. Mazia? All clear? Minashi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Istisham, Shamara?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Great. Fine. So put the second heading, and the next family is Fabaceae. So next family is Fabaceae. Before going into the family, let me open the diagram of this family. Fabaceae, where is that? Fabaceae. Fabaceae. In Fabaceae family, actually this family is earlier called Papilionidae. Let me tell you, this is called Papilionoidae. And within this family, there is a subfamily. Which is called Leguminosae. Within this family, there is some family called Leguminosae. There is some subfamily called Leguminosae. Within Fabaceae, there is subfamily called Leguminosae. Leguminosae family, this is called actually the family of pulses. So all the pulses, irrespective like gram, cagenous, cagen, like means chicken pea, and all these pulses, they comes under the family of subfamily Leguminosae, right? Means they all come under the Papilionidae family, right? So there is a floral diagram, and inside the floral diagram there is a floral formula. So the floral formula, this is floral diagram actually. So floral formula is, let me tell you floral formula. So this is zygomorphic. means this is bilateral symmetry, means there is a no radial symmetry, right? So there is a bilateral symmetry. Zygomorphic, bisexual. Both the sexes are present over here, female and male sex, means androecium and gynoecium both are there. So zygomorphic, bisexual, calyx, look, calyx 1 plus 2 plus 2 gamo. Can you tell me the estimation? Any one of you? Standard, wings and keel. Come on. I told you while telling the estimation that if there is an arrangement 1 plus 2 plus 2 gamo, means the estimation is vexillary. Come on. Yes, vexillary estimation. Sorry, corolla. This is situation is corolla. Calyx, I forget. This is calyx are 5 and 5 gamo. Calyx is 5 gamo. Corolla is 1 plus 2 plus 2 gamo. Again, androecium are, look, 9 plus 1. What is the situation? Can you tell me? Androecium is 9 gamo plus 1. So there is 2 bunch of stamen. What I can say this situation?
Di and
Di
and
diadelphous. Very good. Excellent. Diadelphous. Right? Diadelphous. Very good. That's what you have to implement. Diadelphous situation. Right? So they are in 2 bunches. So diadelphous situation. Again, gynoecium is 1 and ovary superior. Can you tell me the placentation? Guess what is the placentation? This is actually ovule.
it's free, right? Because it's stick to the ovary.
It is attached at the base.
Yeah, that's the first one, sir. Maxilla.
Yes, basipetal. P is the member of this family. So basipetal, right? Clear? Okay, great. So take the screenshot and you have to write after. If you have any doubt in the formula, please ask me. Then we'll go to the family. Already clear? Okay.
What's the G1 you wrote? G1.
G means gynoecium 1, and that is ovary superior. Means hypogynous situation. Ovary is at superior position. And rest of the floral appendages, calyx, corolla, androecium, they all are at the lower position of ovary. Clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So please start writing down again. Plant is herb, shrub. Plant is herb, shrub, or tree. It may be anything. Plant is herb, shrub, or tree. Next. Flower is bisexual and have bilateral symmetry. Plant is bisexual and have bilateral symmetry. Next. It have 5 sepal united, 5 sepal which are united and imbricate estivation. 5 sepals which are united and imbricate estivation. Next. Petals are 5. And the situation is polypetalous. means free. Petals are 5, and the situation is polypetalous. Full stop. Generally, they have vexillary estivation. This arrangement means vexillary estivation. If you find anywhere that is 1 + 2 + 2 gamma, means estivation is vexillary. Polypetalous and with vexillary estivation. Next, Androecium are 10 and Androecium are 10 and diadelphus. Androecium are 10 and diadelphus situation. Diadelphus situation. Next, Gynoecium is monocarpellary, single ovary. Monocarpellary, comma, basal placentation. Monocarpellary, basal placentation. Basal placentation. Full stop. Next, fruit is legume. Fruit is legume. Example, in economic importance, the pulses like gram, moong, soybean, glycine max. Do you know soybean?
Yes, sir.
Yes. This is called glycine max, actually. That is biological name. And the question which has been asked, look, the question was that indigo belongs to indigo. Do you know indigo? Indigo?
It's a flower, right? Flower.
Yeah, it's a plant and it's a dye which is used to do in white color cloth
Yes.
with light blue. Indigo. So that has been asked in medical examination. Again, there was a question in medical examination. 2 times I have seen trifolium. Trifolium is actually fodder. Trifolium is used to feed the buffaloes and cows, right? So trifolium is used. Trifolium belongs to this family. Trifolium has been asked in medical examination 2 times. Indigo I have seen many times, right? Trifolium, indigo, and sweet pea. Sweet pea, gram, this one. These are the questions which has been asked.
Sir, sweet pea, which one?
Sweet pea means this Pisum sativum, which we eat as a vegetable.
Yeah.
Actually, there are 2 peas. When I will teach you genetics in 12th, so there is one more pea which is called Lathyrus odoratus. So that is called garden pea. Garden pea is actually Lathyrus odoratus. So that we do not eat. That is not sweet pea actually. And sweet pea is Pisum sativum. Both are almost similar. Their flower is similar. Their characteristic is similar, but their economic importance is like this one. Garden pea, like this one. Lathyrus odoratus. This is not edible. Rest of the characteristic of, and the plant is a bit different. So that is a wild pea, right? Okay. So the last but not the least part of this chapter, it was very big chapter. The last family is Liliaceae. So actually the 2 family, Fabaceae and Solanaceae, which we studied, they were actually a dicot family. Now the Liliaceae is called family of lily, and this is a monocot family. Clear? So put that in Liliaceae. Is it clear? First tell me. Fabaceae clear to all of you or not?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So the next heading is Liliaceae. So Liliaceae is called actually family of lily. Liliaceae. Let me open the diagram. And before going into it, let me show you the flower of lily. You must have seen flower of lily. Yes. Beautiful flower. It's big flower. Lily flower. Very beautiful. Yes. This is actually lily fit, right? Flower of lily, right? So you won't find that look, there are six these petals, sepal, what you call 1, 2, 3. So first one 3 and again 3. So I have told you that if the flower is trimerous in the multiple of 3, this is monocot. If the flower is multiple of 4 or 5, pentamerous or tetramerous, this will be a dicot family. So here the flower is in the multiple of 3. So this is first thing. This is trimerous flower. So the family is belongs to monocot. Again, one more thing. Here you will not found that either they are calyx or they are corolla. So this calyx is there. This is bud. Behind this flower there is a bud. Look, outer side look like that. This is calyx. Inside they look like corolla. So what you will call them? They are called what? Tepal. What is tepal? When you are unable to differentiate between the sepal or petal. So when there is something which is the fusion of sepal and petal, so we call it tepal. And the group of tepal is called perianth, right? So in these are the perianth. These 6 are the perianth. So the lily family have perianth, neither sepal nor tepal. Clear? Neither sepal nor petal. They have tepal. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let me show you the floral diagram. Come to the technical part of this. Look, so this is, put the heading Liliaceae. Third family is Liliaceae. So Liliaceae is called the family of lily. Lily family. I have shown you a diagram of lily. So again, add some. Flower is bracteate. So this is the actually symbol of bracteate, actinomorphic, bisexual, perianth 3+3, androecium 3+3, and this is epitepalous situation. Gynoecium is 3, ovary superior, and what is that? Syncarpus situation. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Look, perianth, they are present in external 3 and internal 3. So they are present in whorl of 3. Both the sexes actinomorphic. So this is radial, it have radial symmetry. Bisexual, androecium and gynoecium both are present. Again, androecium 3+3 means 3 are united in inner whorl and 3 are united in outer whorl. So these are the actually androecium. These are actually androecium. These are their androecium. Their androecium. Right? So they're actually androecium. Again, this part, this central part, this is actually gynoecium, and it is 3 in there, and this is syncarpus situation. So that is the floral diagram. right? Please note it down. Then we'll start with the lily family, characteristic of family.
The presentation is marginal, right?
Yes,
The presentation is marginal.
very good. Presentation is marginal. Taken a screenshot?
Yes, sir, done, sir.
Okay. So first, plant is a perennial herb, means soft small plant. Plant is perennial herb. Again, flower is bisexual. Flower is bisexual with radial symmetry. Flower is bisexual with radial symmetry. Again,
Sir,
in
for radial
perianth,
symmetry, we put percentage sign, right? No.
yes,
Bilateral, we put percentage sign.
yeah, right.
For radial, no.
Yes, this is radial. It means actinomorphic. So percentage is zygomorphic, bilateral,
Yes.
right? This is zygomorphic. So again, perianth are present in the form of six people, tepal, 6 tepal in the group of 3 plus 3. 6 tepal in the group of 3 plus 3. Again, stamen are 6 in number and stamen are 6 in number and fused with tepal. Fused with tepal. That is epitepalous. Epitepalous. That is epitepalous. Next one. Gynoecium is tricarpellary, means 3 carpel, tricarpellary, syncarpous, tricarpellary, syncarpous with axile placentation. With axile placentation. Next.
The maxillary, right?
Yes, sir. Vexillary? No. In vexillary, there will be 1 plus 2 plus 2. Right. So this estimation is actually, this will be what to say, volvate. It will be volvate estimation.
Then I'm saying about presentation, sir.
Placentation is that is axial placentation. This is axial. Placentation is axial placentation. Next, fruit is capsule. Fruit is capsule. Example, tulip. Tulip is also an ornamental flower. Many of you must have seen that. And there is a medicine, aloe. Aloe is medicinal plant. Belongs
Aloe vera,
to,
right? Aloe vera.
yes, aloe vera, right? Yes, aloe. And there is a asparagus. That's the vegetable. Asparagus. And that's it. So this was all about the morphology of flowering plant.
Yes.
Any problem?
No, sir.
Any doubt? Any confusion? And those which have, look, before winding up this chapter, let me make you clear. Those which have missed complete class or part of class. So this is their responsibility. Please take the backup of the class to Niskarchi and go through with it. 99% I will think that after going through the class, it's because these are the recorded session what we are studying now. So after going through the, if you going through with the sincerely with the recorded session, I don't think that you will find any difficulty or any problem. Still, if you have any doubt, if you have any question while going through with the class, please note it down and ask me in next class. But do not skip over here, because if you will skip today, definitely you will find it difficult when you will do in next year before giving the medical examination, because on that time you have to work today you are going through with your syllabus. On that time you will not be that much interested and you have to do it forcefully, because on that time it will not be part of your syllabus in 12th, right? So if you want to make it easy, if you want to make it more clear, then please, this is my humble request, go through with it, and I am there to answer your all questions and all queries. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Alvia, Nazia, Minashi,
Yes, sir.
any difficulty? Samaira?
No, sir.
Fine. So let's start the next chapter, chapter 7. Sorry, chapter 6. Anatomy of flowering plant. So what is anatomy? What is anatomy? Yes, come on.
Study about internal body parts.
Yes, up to certain extent you are clear. Study of tissues is called anatomy, right? So anatomy of flowering plant means study of tissue of flower, right? Okay. So let's start with the anatomy part. Let me open the folder. Plant. There. Yes. So before going inside the this chapter, first I would like to tell you the classification of plant tissues. That's plant anatomy. And this classification chart, I will explain each and everything, and most of the things will become clear for you here only. Yes. So I have a chart or a PPT for you. Look. So this is the plant anatomy, or we can say classification of tissue. Make it more larger. Yes. And let me hide something because there is some double repetition. Yes. This has been repeated actually 2 times. Xylem parenchyma, xylem. Okay, so let me explain it for you. Look, plant have 2 type of the tissues. First category or first type of the tissue are meristematic tissue. So what are the meristematic tissue? Actually, meristematic means all those tissue which have lifetime capability of division, right? So they have capability of division, means they have capacity of division, so they can divide. So they are called meristematic. Meristematic tissues are of 3 types: apical, lateral, and intercalary. Apical meristematic tissues are found at the apex part, right? Look. So suppose that there is a plant. So for example, This is actually a plant. So this is the apex part of plant. So this is apical part of the plant. This is apex of plant, right? Look. So for example, this is apical part. So these are the found at the tips, right? They are called apical meristem. So meristem, the apical tissues which can divide. There are some lateral meristem. So what are the lateral meristem? Actually, the lateral meristems are found in the form of some cylindrical part, right? So suppose that this is this one. So this is actually this cylindrical type of the tissue, the cylindrical structure of the tissue. This, right? This is called actually the lateral meristem, right? So it is responsible for increasing the apical meristem. It is in primarily. I'm telling you just as a for your sake of classification. We will go into deep inside, and so apical part. This is responsible for increasing length. Again, the lateral meristem is responsible for increasing the width, or we can say girth. Girth means thickness. Intercalary meristem are found at here. They are compressed by, their intercalary means intercalated. There is a Latin term called intercalated. Intercalated means sandwich between two, right? So intercalary meristem or intercalary tissues are those which are found sandwich, means they are found between the two permanent tissue, right? They are responsible for increasing the growth of branches. So they are called intercalary. Again, there are second type of the tissues, they are called permanent tissue. So permanent tissues are those which loses capacity of division. They loses capacity of division. So they do not have capacity of division, they cannot divide actually. There are two types, simple and complex. Simple permanent tissues are those which are made up of only one type of tissue. Only one type of cell. Simple tissues are made up of one type of cell. Complex tissue, they are made up of more than one type of tissue. They are made up, sorry, not tissue. They are made up of more than one type of, yes, tissue or cell of cells, right? So they are complex. Simple tissues again divided into three categories: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Actually, parenchyma tissues are living tissues, and their function is storage of food. They are most abundant tissue of the plant. Collenchyma tissues are also living tissue, but yes, their function is not providing to storage. Their function is to give strength. Like there are some non-woody plant. Non-woody plant, suppose that there is a plant of papaya. Does papaya have any wood like a thing?
No, sir.
Yes. So their stem is not woody, but its stem is not that much weak. It's strong. So it is actually, this is made up of collenchyma. It is made up of living tissue. Again, sclerenchyma are dead tissues. So actually, they are the part they makes wood. They makes wood. They are of two types: fiber and sclerites. So fiber like cotton. Cotton is a type of fiber. Coir, that is a type of fiber. Jute is a type of fiber. And sclerite, these are the star-shaped cells. We'll study deeply. Complex tissues, they are made up of more than one type of the cells. Again, complex tissues are of two types: xylem and phloem. The function of xylem is conduction of water. Yes, water conduction. So water conduction from root to shoot. Function of phloem is food conduction. Food conduction. Again, the xylem is made up of four type of the cells: tracheate, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fiber. Here, let me make you clear: tracheates are dead, vessels are dead, xylem fibers are dead. Only xylem parenchyma is living. Here, phloem fiber are dead. Companion cell 50% dead, but sieve tube living, parenchyma living. So here are more tissues are living. Right. Now tell me. So is this classification of tissues clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Take the screenshot, draw it at your notebook, and we'll start with the meristematic tissue. So put the heading meristematic. And take the screenshot, please.
Start next class.
Next class? Yes. Fine, we'll start in next class. No issue. So till the time, please tell me, is there any confusion or any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Ask me if you have any question. Please tell me. Do you have any question?
So right now it's clear. We'll study one time. Then next class, if you need to ask us.
Okay, fine, fine. So Alvia, all clear? Mazia, all clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay. Inashi, tell me please.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Clear. Fine. Samira, all clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, if I
Okay.
have doubt, I will ask in next class.
Yeah, sure. Go through with it completely the taxonomy, that is morphology part, and have a like if you have any question, please note it down and ask me next class. Fine.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Thank you,
So,
sir.
welcome, welcome. So see you guys. See you in next class. Bye bye. Take care. Good night, all of you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, welcome.